In the middle of Columbus, Ohio, home to football Saturdays, long lines at Jenny's Ice Cream, and a skyline dotted with cranes building one more apartment complex, there lived a young woman named Sarah who could not resist one thing: pizza. Not just any pizza, not the frozen kind buried in a grocery store freezer, but fresh, cheesy, steaming pies from her favorite delivery place, the Red Slice. Every week, like clockwork, Sarah swore she would be responsible. Every week, she told herself she'd pay the rent on time. But every week, when her phone buzzed with that fateful notification, by one large, tonight only, Sarah's resolve crumbled faster than a stale breadstick. Sarah's problem wasn't that she was lazy in the way cartoons often exaggerate, lying around all day with no ambition. Her laziness was a subtler kind, the kind that hides behind little excuses. I'll budget tomorrow. I'll meal prep next week. I'll figure out my savings once I finally get a raise. But tomorrow always turned into today. And today always turned into another hot, greasy pizza box stacked in the corner of her one-bedroom apartment. It was the third week of the month, the time when reality typically caught up with her. The landlord's polite reminder email was already sitting in her inbox. Sarah, please ensure rent is paid by the 5th to avoid late fees. But the smell of pepperoni and garlic knots had already overpowered her inbox notifications. This is the story of Lazy Sara, who spent her rent money on pizza again, and how 1 month in Columbus became the turning point of her life. Sarah's apartment looked less like a home and more like a scene someone sculpted in a hurry. Laundry in piles like miniature hills, a mountain of unopened mail, and a leaning tower of empty pizza boxes in the corner. On her fridge, the magnets held up scraps of old coupons and an overdue electric bill. Her budget notebook sat unopened on the coffee table, next to a calculator whose battery had long since died. But the pizza? Oh, the pizza was glorious. Cheese stretched like strings of melted gold, sauce bubbled red, crusts puffed with perfect hand-pressed dents. It was her comfort, her escape, her entertainment. Instead of going out with friends, she ordered pizza. Instead of cooking spaghetti for $2, she ordered pizza. Instead of saving $20 toward rent, she ordered pizza. By the 4th pizza box of the week, Sarah finally sighed. I might be in trouble, she thought, kicking a half-empty soda bottle aside. Her bank app told the same story, a checking account that looked slimmer than a breadstick. Rent was due in 10 days. Like many in their 20s, Sarah had perfected the art of excuses. Well, if I pay the rent late, it's only a $50 fee. That's just like 3 pizzas. Totally fine. I'll just borrow from my credit card. That's what it's for, right? I'll eat better next month. Promise. Excuses were like dominoes. Once one fell, the rest tumbled. A late rent fee meant less money for utilities. A maxed out credit card meant interest piling up like snow in an Ohio blizzard. And the shame of admitting she was behind on bills made Sarah retreat deeper into her pizza-shaped cave. Scenes spun through her imagination, her landlord morphing into a giant pepperoni slice, demanding payment in mozzarella coins, her future self drowning in a sea of unpaid bills that folded into origami pizza slices. The wake-up call didn't come from her landlord. It came from her little niece, Emma. During a family visit, Emma tugged at Sarah's sleeve and asked, Aunt Sarah, why do you always order pizza when you say you don't have money? The question hit like a bucket of cold soda dumped over her head. In terms, her eyes bulged comically, her jaw dropped, and a tiny light bulb flickered above her head. Out of the mouths of babes came the most obvious truth. Sarah was sabotaging herself with her own habits. Determined to change, Sarah dusted off her forgotten budget notebook. She sat at her cluttered coffee table, scribbling numbers with the seriousness of a detective cracking a case. Rent, $850. Utilities, $120. Groceries, $200. Pizza, $300. She circled that last number 3 times. $300 a month on pizza. That was nearly a third of her rent, some that could have gone towards savings, debt payoff, or even imagine this, an emergency fund. She began experimenting with visuals in her head. Each dollar she saved became a tiny clay figure marching into a jar labeled Future Sarah as happiness. Every dollar wasted on pizza turned into a sad little slice of melted cheese sliding off the table. The first week of her transformation wasn't perfect. She still caved once, ordering a medium pizza after a particularly long work day. But she also made spaghetti, grilled cheese, and a big pot of chili that stretched into 4 meals. She learned the thrill of finding chicken breasts on sale for $1.99 a pound. She downloaded a coupon app and suddenly felt like an archaeologist, discovering treasure in the aisles of Kroger. Instead of deleting the landlord's email reminders, she set up automatic payments. No more late fees. Instead of ignoring her bank account, she checked it every morning with her coffee. And when friends invited her out, she joined without ordering food she couldn't afford, but enjoying the social life she had missed. Sarah transformed slowly, frame by frame. The mountain of pizza boxes shrank. The budget jar filled. The shame melted away. The ultimate test came one Friday night when the red slice blasted a push notification. By one limited time, her old self would have melted faster than mozzarella in a brick oven. But new Sarah took a breath. She opened her fridge, pulled out leftovers, and told herself, future me deserves stability more than present me deserves pizza. For the first time, she deleted the notification instead of ordering. It wasn't about denying joy, it was about choosing control. By the next month, Sarah had not only paid rent on time, but also set aside $100 in savings. It wasn't much, but it was hers. A cushion. A start. She still enjoyed pizza once a month as a treat, not as a crutch. Her niece noticed first. And Sarah, you don't buy pizza all the time anymore. You're different. Different indeed. She had become someone who traded excuses for choices, laziness for action, debt for progress. Columbus still had its temptations, new restaurants, weekend festivals, but Sarah now saw money as clay she could mold, shape, and build into something lasting. And so, Lazy Sara, who once spent her rent money on pizza, again transformed into a version of herself she never thought possible. Not because she won the lottery, not because she got a giant raise, but because she realized that small, intentional choices compound like interest in a savings account. For anyone watching, whether you've got a stack of pizza boxes in your corner or a pile of unpaid bills on your table, remember this: you are one decision away from a different story. $1 saved, 1 bill paid, 1 excuse replaced with action. That's how change begins. Sarah's journey reminds us all that money isn't about denying yourself joy. It's about giving yourself freedom. And freedom, in the end, is worth more than all the pizza in Columbus.